You want to know what the biggest recession indicator is? Food
Hi
portion.
guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. So in today's video, we'll be talking about the recessions indicators. I know a lot of us, we don't know what are these recession indicators, and we just see things, we're just seeing these words on social media or seeing on TikTok, like what's really happening. So I've put these videos together so that you watch and understand. I'll be back to share
You want to know what the biggest recession indicator is? Food portions, and we should have known this sooner. America is literally known for having unhealthy food but also very huge food portions. The food portions were so bad in America in the early 2000s that Michelle Obama literally had to intervene. We had an obesity epidemic. They literally had to change the school food that we got because we were eating so much food. I mean, we really had a problem with food in the United States. But now, these food portions are ridiculous. Like, don't even get me started with Chipotle. When Chipotle first hit the ground, those bowls were packed. I mean, the bowls were packed to the brim. You had your rice, they was packing the chicken, they was putting all the toppings on top. Now, you literally have to beg them to give you the right portion of chicken. I went to Chipotle the other day and I was mad pissed because the general manager was right there while I was trying to get my bowl. Mind you, I'm not even greedy. I don't even be asking for any extra chicken or anything. But when we got to the end of the assembly line, I asked for some cheese on top. He sprinkled about 5 pieces of cheese. So I'm like, can I please get some extra cheese? He was like, no, because then I'm gonna have to charge you extra for that. First of all, do I look like a girl that care about charging extra? You can charge me the extra. I got the money in my account. But it's really the fact that they really playing with food portions now because it's a recession indicator. These restaurants do not got the money to afford this food anymore. Let me give you another example. The other day I went to Ito's with my sister, right? It's basically a Japanese hibachi steakhouse where they cook the food in front of you. I kid you not, this man was counting the amount of shrimps he was about to put in my seafood combo. Back in the day, they used to throw the shrimp on the grill and throw that food right on your plate. But now we rationing. Now everybody's rationing with the food. And I'm not even saying this to be big bad because you know body tea. But it's the fact that the food portions is literally a recession indicator because America used to not play. Like they used to give you as much food as you wanted. They didn't care. They was giving us an epidemic of obesity. But now all of a sudden they want to count and ration. And don't even get me started on the price of eggs. But yeah, I don't know what we're going to do about it, but there's definitely a recession like around the corner.
Recession indicators that not enough people are talking about. The first one being people who used to spend a lot on luxury handbags going onto the little yellow app. I'm talking about influencers who are selling off their authentic Chanel and Hermes and buying DHG dupes to replace them. Also influencers who spend over £10,000 on holidays in the Maldives, decking head to toe from DHG gear. No shit at all, because why wouldn't you go for the affordable and chic option? I guess quiet luxury just turned into dupe luxury. Number 2 is that second-hand luxury prices are tanking. I experienced this firsthand. I sold a Louis Vuitton keepall at the beginning of last year for over £1,000 to a well-known luxury consignment in London. And of course, they're not giving me that money for charitable purposes. I'm sure they're at least making £200 to £500 by selling it on. Let's say that the RRP they said is £1,200. And just yesterday, I saw the exact handbag sold on Vestiaire for £700. That is over 42% decrease in just 1 year. Bring me onto my third point, the increasing popularity of Vinted. The popularity of both Vinted and Depop is a recession indicator for sure. However, Vinted is known for selling products that are more affordable compared to Depop. As a result, Vinted reported almost 600 million in revenue in 2023, which is over 60% increase from the year before, while Depop was making a loss. And Vinted now have over 105 million registered users, and Depop only have around 35 million. Vinted pushing the high-end luxury category is also a very interesting move. Next, one that I personally love is the no-buy / low-buy / home improvement / decluttering / minimalism trend as a whole. Aspiring to that minimalistic lifestyle is becoming more and more popular because of the recession. And for the decluttering / home improvement part, people want to spend less money but make their environment better. That's why these videos are so popular. I also love making decluttering videos myself, so do check them out. Lastly, it's rich people moving out of London. By this, I mean influencers, people who make really good salary, etc., both online and in my real life, are getting priced out of London and leaving, buying elsewhere. If they're being priced out, what does that mean for the rest of
A recession is coming. The signs are there, especially after seeing that JP Morgan analysts raised their forecast to 60%. 60%. And there are some things that you can do to prepare for what's coming. Number 1, stop buying shit that you don't need. It is time to cut overconsumption and hold on and take care of the things that you already have. And if you do have to buy something, buy locally. Check Facebook Marketplace first. Take good care of the car that you currently have and keep up with the maintenance. Cut out unnecessary subscription services. Prioritize home cooked meals instead of going out. It is healthier for you anyways. You can start by starting a menu, a meal plan every Sunday that tells you exactly what you're going to cook every day, and then buy your groceries according to that. Focus on buying only what is absolutely necessary. Everything else can wait, and you probably don't need any more junk anyways. Clean your house so you're more comfortable staying home. Make your coffee at home. There are so many amazing and easy recipes that are so much better and healthier for you than that $7 coffee that you keep buying. Download a library card app. There are hundreds of free ebooks that you can read. Simplify your skincare routine. According to my dermatologist, all you need is prescription tretinoin, a good moisturizer, and a good SPF. You don't need a 5 to 10 step skincare routine. Join local buy nothing groups on Facebook. Plus, it's a good way to declutter your house and help someone else in need. Remind yourself that you don't need new decoration for every single holiday. I know Easter is coming up. Reuse the bunnies, reuse the Easter egg. You don't need a new bunny centerpiece every single Easter. If you're someone who gets dopamine from online shopping, apply a policy to yourself in which you wait 3 days before you check out of your cart. So you have to keep the things that are in your online cart for a minimum of 3 days. When you come back to it, 9 times out of 10, you're going to have changed your mind about a few things, or you will have realized that you need none of it because the clothes that you already have is good enough. Delete all the shopping apps from your phone and start downloading couponing apps. These are apps that help you save money on groceries and everyday essentials. Find other ways to get dopamine, like exercising. You can work out at home, you can go on a walk. Online shopping or shopping in stores for unnecessary stuff is done. Groom your own pets, do your own nails, buy in bulk when things are in sale. Stop giving into consumerism and focus on paying off debt instead of creating more debt. And if you've already paid off all your debt, use your disposable income to put it into a saving, preferably a high yield savings. And if you think you have money and disposable income, no, you don't. Pretend that you don't. That's what I do. I paid off all my debt and I pretend and live like if I'm broke. And that mindset is what has helped me build a really good savings. This is also a good time to have multiple sources of income. And remember that everyone is paying the price. You are not alone.
We have some breaking news right now. Recession indicators are flashing as McDonald's unexpectedly saw an economic downturn within its own financials in the first quarter of 2025. This morning, the company announced that between January and March of 2025, its store sales dropped by about 1%. Now, economists had predicted that the store sales would actually rise 2% in that same time period. And the reason why they slumped about 3% was because of economic uncertainty, because consumer confidence continues to fall, because tariffs are leading to price increases. But McDonald's isn't the only company that's facing lower than expected profits right now, or sales. Chipotle last week also announced that its revenue was weaker than expected in the first quarter of 2025. This McDonald's announcement was really unexpected and is a recession indicator. Spread the word. I'll do a full breakdown on my Substack, link to my bio, so subscribe for free and follow along for all the news you need to know about. More to come soon.
So the Guardian decided to take the initiative to tally up all of the Trump tariffs, right? Basically, get these fees together, put it into actual visual perspective, put it into monetary terms so that we're able to see exactly how much money the American companies and consumers are looking at. And the tally that they came up with, the total that they came up with was $34 billion and counting. $34 billion and counting. This is the amount of money in fees and costs that American business owners, American companies, American consumers once before did not have to deal with. This was not a concern for us. Also, verified information via The Guardian, Target and Walmart have officially announced their price increase. Now, this is not news. We've all been hearing about it since the beginning of this month, since the beginning of last month, since this whole tariff war has begun. But they've officially confirmed that the prices have increased. They said you guys needed to start seeing that price increase late May, early June. It's May 30th. We literally have one more day left of May and then we're into June. So get ready for that. For those of you who have not been boycotting, I suggest that this is now the time to start. Also, pharmacies all across America are closing. Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS. I don't know how many recession indicators do we need at this point. How many more recession indicators do we actually need? The economy here in the United States is fucked. It's fucked. Like, we're fucked. But let's get back on topic. So yeah, all of the pharmacies, Rite Aid, Walgreens, CVS, they're closing down. Hundreds have already closed down, by the way, hundreds. It states right here that for Rite Aid alone, 151 stores have closed. And one thing I just really want to know is, since when did pharmacies stop getting business? Since when did pharmacies start closing down? As many sick people that are here in America alone. Since when? Unless due to the fact that so many people are now going uninsured, so many people's healthcare benefits are being cut, they can't afford their medication. Oh, now I can see why pharmacies are getting cut. All right, but yeah, that closes the most recent recession indicator report. I'm not sure what you guys are going to do. Do what you will with that information. I don't know what I'm going to do, but we're going to figure it out.
These are my true recession indicators. Number one is doctors, lawyers, and finance professionals becoming lifestyle content creators. Can you imagine, like 5 years ago, neurosurgeons and investment bankers posting daily vlogs on TikTok to make some extra cash? Like, that would never have happened. Professionals were professionals. They made the big money. They spent their free time spending that money. And now it's just not enough. Number two is Beyonce tickets still being on sale. They're not sold out. And you remember how hard it was to get tickets for the I Am World Tour or the Mrs. Carter World Tour. You had to be on the website the second they were released. And even then you were lucky if you got tickets. The Cowboy Carter Tour is literally next month and tickets are still available. I get it, the music doesn't hit quite like it did before, but still, it's Beyonce. Number three is the rise of skinny talk. To me, this is recession core. People don't have money to buy good food. People don't have money to go out and fine dine. People don't have money for personal trainers. People don't have money for expensive gym classes. So instead, we see the rise of eating nothing and walking. Like, both are free. It makes sense. How miserable. Next is the rise in child-free champions. Like, people do not want kids anymore. Say what you want, but having money makes having kids 1,000 times easier. Like, being poor with kids must be hell. Child-free by choice equals recession indicator. Next, the one that makes me really sad is the bar for aspirational content is so low. I used to love watching creators just for the aspirational motivation and inspo. I absolutely want to see your designer hauls. I do absolutely want to see your crazy mansion. I absolutely wanted to see your crazy cars. And yes, I wanted to see you in the Maldives. These days, aspirational vlogs are waking up, going to Pilates, getting a matcha and going to M&S. Like, how boring. I want to see luxury and I want to see excess, but recession indicator. And lastly, DIY beauty. The girlies are doing their nails at home, hair at home, laser at home. They are even micro needling at home. If that's not a recession indicator, I don't know what is.
I was 11 during the Great Recession. I remember my dad being genuinely just stressed out to the max, always having the news on, always just talking about it because my dad was a car salesman. This man sold cars through the Great Recession. He had been selling cars in this country since the 70s. And I remember being genuinely concerned about if my dad was going to be able to afford to live. And it was also the same time my dad was dealing with immigration stuff that was costing him, at the end, it cost him like $70,000 to be able to stay in this country during the Great Recession. And when my freshman year of college, I took a psych class because I was an education major on, what has made Gen Z the way that they are. And one of the proponents of it is the Great Recession. Whether or not Gen Z was aware, they watched their parents lose their jobs. They watched their parents struggle to put food on the table. If they had older siblings that were millennials that were graduating college, they struggled finding a job. And Gen Z, no matter their age, saw this and now don't value education. They have residual trauma from it. And Gen Z is graduating college. I'm the oldest band of Gen Z. I'm 97. And now Gen Z is dealing with that themselves. They can't pay their student loans. There's no aid for them. They can't get jobs because there's no jobs. Jobs are systematically being erased. And we all thought the Great Recession was the worst thing it could be, and it got worse. And that is a frightening thing as someone who is educated. And I don't have an answer. And it's really scary because I literally teach Gen Z, Gen Alpha kids. I teach them Avid. And I'm like, here's why you should go to college. And in the back of my mind, I'm like, is college worth it at this point? Are they going to be able to get FAFSA? Are they going to be able to get Pell Grants? Are they going to be able to get student loans? Are they going to be able to afford college? Are their families going to be able to put food on the table tomorrow? Are they going to make it to college? But yeah, let's give tax breaks to.
So that's the video, guys. I'm just here also to share my 2 cents, like what I think about today's video, the recession indicators, which you might not know. So to begin with, we are going to talk about changes in the job market. Let's start with something we all understand: jobs. Okay, one of the first places we start to feel an economic shift is the job market. Maybe you notice that friends are struggling to find work, or your company suddenly stops hiring. Sometimes there's a quiet feeling that promotion or rises are being delayed, or maybe people are picking up extra work just to feel secure. These little changes can be early signs that businesses are becoming conscious, which often happens when they expect the economy to slow down a bit. Another thing that I want to talk about is people start spending differently. Now, let's talk about how people spend their money when things feel unclear, uncertain. Spending habit change. You might feel fewer people going out to eat, shopping for fun, or booking trips. Everyone start to prioritizing needs over wants. Friends might cancel weekend plans because they are trying to save money. Even small shift like choosing home cooked meals over takeout can point to a bigger trend, people becoming more careful with how they use their money. Another thing that I want to talk about is businesses making cuts or closing. This is very important. Another big sign when I look at local businesses start cutting back or even shutting down. Maybe a coffee shop you loved is suddenly gone, or you hear about companies downsizing or reducing their costs. These are not just random events, they are often signs that those businesses are not bringing as much money as they used to. And if multiple businesses in your area are doing these things, that's a sign that something is happening. Another thing is the real estate market. Okay, so let's talk about the housing market. When time are good, houses get snapped up quickly, but during uncertain times, people hold off on buying. You might hear about homes sitting on the market longer, or sellers lowering their prices. People may even decide to stay in their current homes rather than take on a mortgage. And when people feel unsure about the future, they avoid big financial decisions, and they can be a quiet signal that the economy is under pressure. Another thing that I want to talk about is the mood in the workplace. You can even feel how the mood is. Sometimes you don't need even outside news to feel there's something up. The energy at work says it all. Maybe people seem more stressed. Management is quiet. There are more closed doors meetings, perks like snacks in the break room or team outing might suddenly disappear. These small things often changes when companies are trying to cut back without causing panic. If the vibe shifts, pay attention. It could be more than just office gossip. Another thing that I want to talk about is prices feel different. Another thing to start noticing is another how the prices of everyday items seem off. Maybe groceries feel more expensive, or services cost more even though the quality hasn't changed. On the flip side, you might notice big discounts that seem a little desperate, like sales that last too long or items marked way down. These pricing pattern are a sign of shift in supply and demand. And when these things shows up crossly different industries, that's worth noting that the recession is here. Conversations change. Here's a subtitle, but powerful one. The way people talk. Are more of your friends talking about side hustle, money, stress, or skipping things to save cash? Do people seem more conscious or worried in general? The tone of everyday conversations often reflect what's happening in the economy. When you hear more to talk about cutting back or making things last longer, that shift in mindset can be a reflection economic concerns. Okay. Another thing, travel and entertainment take a hit. You can also look at lifestyle changes. People tend to travel less when things feel uneasy about the economy. That weekend getaway or concert might suddenly feel like too much of the luxury. And when fewer people are spending money on fun experiences, the businesses that depend on entertainment and tourism start feeling the pinch.